This group of courses, entitled Mini Courses and Miscellaneous Lessons, is an assortment of different messages of mine that didn't neatly fit into any of the other courses. But now, interestingly, some of my most important messages and some of my most popular messages are included in this miscellaneous group, so it's certainly not a group that you're going to want to overlook. We begin with discussing the nature of God. And in this, we look at what the historic faith teaches about the Trinity. Now, of course, all Orthodox Christians believe in the Trinity, but very few Christians can give you a correct explanation of the Trinity. The early Christians not only were able to explain the Trinity in a way that makes total sense, and it's something that we can all grasp, but more importantly, it totally fits the totality of what the Scriptures have to say about Jesus Christ. Now, through the ages, probably the topic that has caused more people to lose their faith in God is the problem of evil. Why does a loving God permit suffering and allow evil people like Hitler and Stalin to even exist? Well, people in the early centuries, in the day of Jesus and the apostles, they were asking the same thing. And the early Christians had some excellent answers to those questions that I think will help us all in our own faith. Now, the next group, we look at what the historic faith teaches about Satan and the demons. Probably there's no surprises there concerning Satan, but what the early Christians believed about the demons and what the Scriptures teach about the demons will probably be a surprise to most of you, and it certainly was a surprise to me. So we'll be learning about that. We'll also be looking about the gifts of the Spirit. This has been one of our most popular messages. What did the early Christians believe about the miraculous gifts? More importantly, did the miraculous gifts survive the death of the apostles? Were they still around in the 2nd and 3rd centuries? Did they diminish? Did they disappear? What happened? And should we expect to see miraculous gifts in our churches today? And talking about the Spirit, what about our own spirit? Did you know that your spirit and your soul are not one and the same thing? Most of my life, I thought they were the same. But actually, they're different, as the historic faith teaches and as the New Testament teaches. And there's some significance to the fact that they are different and what role that plays in our Christian walk. Now, through the years, a number of people have written me and asked, David, could you share your own testimony? How did you come to faith in Jesus Christ? What got you interested in the early Christian writings and the historic faith? What has your spiritual pilgrimage been over the decades? And so we have a whole series of messages where I answer those questions and tell you a little bit about my own self and my spiritual journey. Now, the final group of messages in this series of miscellaneous lessons are a varied assortment. We begin with shadows of Christ in the Old Testament. One of the things I noticed when I first read the early Christian writings is that they were so familiar with the Old Testament, and they could, when talking to the Romans or to the Jews, they could point to prophecy after prophecy that foretold Jesus Christ. Now, many of these prophecies, of course, I knew, but there are a lot there that I had never noticed before. Also, shadows of Christ, that is, types of Christ in the Old Testament. I knew some of them, but they point out so many others that I had never noticed. So I think this will bless you and strengthen you in your faith. Then we come to the topic, was Jesus the first feminist? The reason I made this message is that today commentators and pastors and authors try to remake Jesus so that he will be inoffensive to 21st century men and women. But Jesus is the same today, yesterday, and forever. We shouldn't try to recast him into a mold to fit what people want to hear today. We should be looking at who was the true historic Jesus and what did he teach and practice. Now, the next topic came about from a letter someone had wrote me and said, David, is there anything the early Christians say about what did Jesus look like? Well, I thought this would maybe be a fun topic to explore. So I discussed what they have to say about the appearance of Jesus and also about the paintings we see in the catacombs, how he is represented there. People who don't like the historic faith and want to discount it often make the claim, oh, the early Christians, they were influenced by Greek philosophy. You can't pay any attention to them. So I take that challenge on headlong in this particular message. Is this true? Were they influenced by pagan Greek philosophy? And I'll show very conclusively that definitely they were not. In fact, so many of their writings are disputing Greek philosophy and showing where it is wrong. And so, no, we can depend upon the early Christians. They weren't spouting Greek philosophy, they were teaching the Holy Scriptures. And this whole group of messages will encourage you and strengthen you in your own walk with our Lord Jesus Christ.